knew that Oversky had lurkers up till this point in time, because he didn't have an observer out to help that Dark Templar that was going in for that 6 o'clock base. So Oversky now harassing Nalra, preventing him from getting an expansion down in the middle of the map. He's got a couple of lurkers there. Nalra does not have anything to see those lurkers with. He's been relying primarily on photon cannons, and this is going to be troublesome for him because those lurkers are sitting right in the middle of that new expansion, and Storm is going to take out 2 of those lurkers. The 2 of the lurkers get taken down, but Nalra loses one of the High Templar in the process. Nalra is pumping up those High Templar, but this is really at a disadvantage from Nalra. Those lurkers are still going to stay down. He's got that observer up now. He's got that observer coming down to be able to take down those lurkers, and he's just killed those lurkers off. So this is going to be the crucial point for Nalra. He needs to exert some pressure and kill 1 or 2 of those expansions. Otherwise, Oversky is going to be too far ahead economically for Nalra to catch up. And Nalra needs to just take down one of those expansions and slow Oversky down a little bit while he himself expands. Nalra putting up that 3rd expansion. And he really just cannot let Oversky get ahead. Nalra does seem to have built up a significant force. I don't know what Oversky has in terms of actual units on the ground. He does have scattered defense there. He's got 2 or 3 Sunkens in each base. And it'll be interesting to see where Nalra decides to focus this main attack of his. Oversky's main, to me, would seem to be far too well defended for that. And those Scourges, a little bit of a waste. They're almost getting taken out, but Nalra does not take out the Scourge. The Scourges barely survive. And Oversky has got a lurker as well as 5 Sunkens, and I don't think Nalra has enough to break that defense. And again, Oversky with the Scourges trying to take that observer down, and unsuccessful in that. He needs an overlord obviously there. And now Nalra going in. He's storming like crazy. He's killing off a lot of drones. Oversky losing a lot of drones. This is going to hurt his economy. Oversky didn't get that 5th Sunken up either. That lurker's going to get taken down. Nalra with a brilliant attack. He's lost some of his units in that attack. He lost some of his zealots, but he's managed to take out most of Oversky's defenses, or at least half of Oversky's defenses. He's also managed to kill a couple of lurkers, but Oversky is defending depth. He's got another Sunken popping out right now, and now he's going to be able to take out that observer, and that's going to make it very difficult for Nalra. So the observers get taken down. I believe Nalra had 2 observers there. Both of them get taken down by Oversky. Oversky using his Scourges wisely. Nalra's got reinforcements pouring in as well, but Oversky's got Zerdians as well. Nalra now pumping from 6 gateways, and he's also sending another observer, but that's risky. But that observer is basically just rallied down towards that position, and that observer sitting right on top of Oversky's base. I'm sure Oversky can see it, and he can easily take it out if he has a Scourge, and I'm not sure. I think he did take that observer out. I'm not sure if that observer started, but it looked to me like that observer got taken out, so that's going to slow Nalra down. Nalra applying some pressure. He managed to kill off quite a few drones with that storm, but that's not going to bother Oversky too much. He's got a lot of drones production, and you can see that Oversky is having a little bit of difficulty in terms of a multitasking ability, and this is really something that we haven't really seen from Oversky before. We haven't seen him had to duke it out in a long match, in a long tough match against a accomplished player like he's having to do versus Nalra. But again, I would still give Oversky a little bit of an edge. Nalra going in with everything he had and not able to break that defense. He did do significant damage to it, but Oversky is rebuilding that defense. He's also putting up a Spore, and Spore Sunken lines are very difficult for Protoss to break, especially with lurkers hiding amongst them. And Oversky doing a smart thing in a way, because Nalra is relying very heavily on High Templar, and unfortunately High Templar aren't really very effective against creep colonies, as it were. And Oversky just trying to flank Nalra around, trying to take out some of those High Templar with the Zerglings. The Zerglings get taken out there. I think he managed to kill one of the High Templars, but most of them survived. Nalra still got about 4 High Templars there. Lurker goes down right in the middle of Nalra's forces, but Nalra's going to be able to kill that Lurker off without losing too much. He kills the 2nd Lurker off as well. So Oversky has now got fast overlord movement speed as well. He might have been gearing up for a drop here. Nalra going in again, attacking, concentrating his forces on Oversky's main at the 3 o'clock position. Storm goes off against on the lurkers. Oversky once again trying to defend in depth, and Oversky defends once again successfully. Brilliant defense by Oversky. Nalra forced to pull back, just not having enough units to punch through, to break through that defense, and that really is a pretty strong turtle there, pretty hard shell to crack for Nalra. Nalra continuing to focus on that base, going once again as soon as his reinforcements arrive, and those lurkers very well positioned. The observers get taken out. Once again, the observers get taken out. So those lurkers again holding off, and Oversky doing a brilliant job in terms of his unit selection. He's got exactly the right number of units. He did put up that Hydra List very early on, and he used it initially to just build a couple of Hydra Lists to stave off those Corsairs, but since then he's basically used Scourges to combat Nalra's air units while focusing on lurkers for his defense, and his defense, I have to say, has held, and Nalra unable to break that defense. And the longer this game goes on, the longer you feel that Oversky is going to cement his economic advantage. His units are going to be heavily upgraded. Nalra has got his 3rd expansion up as well, and I believe he's now trying to build a 4th expansion as well. So Nalra not letting Oversky really get too far ahead in terms of economy, but I think Oversky is still ahead. I don't think Nalra has really managed to equalize the advantage that Oversky had, even despite that massive drone kill with the excellent storm when Nalra forayed into Oversky's main earlier. Nalra has got a shuttle though, so a drop at that 1 o'clock base might do significant damage to it. Oversky has got a lot of defenses in place. The only base that isn't seriously defended, that only has a couple of Spore colonies, is that base at the 5 o'clock position, and maybe a drop there. Nalra with 2 shuttles, so a drop from Nalra there. 3 shuttles. Nalra with 3 shuttles, and a drop from Nalra would be lethal, but Oversky has got Scourges patrolling that base. Nalra loading up those shuttles, and it'll be interesting what's going to happen here. Oversky's base at the 1 o'clock. Doesn't have heavy defense. The shuttles are trying to get through, but they're thwarted by the Scourges. So Oversky, with brilliant anticipation and positioning of those Scourges, now they're trying to rule those Scourges into firing range of those Dragoons. Successfully managed to lure 2 of the Scourges, but Oversky now has seen. So Nara's going to lose the element of surprise. He's not going to really be able to drop at surprise, and Oversky is going to be able to bring reinforcements. And Oversky bringing his reinforcements as Nara drops, so that drop is going to fail. Oversky's got defilers as well, so Nara dropping two or 2.5 shuttles worth of units, but unfortunately that attack is going to fizzle out for Nalra. Oversky again defending well, and we haven't really seen that much from Zerg players. Oversky just continuing to build up this force. He's got about 6 Ultralisks there, and those Ultralisks are being upgraded, and really once those Ultralisks are unleashed, I'm not sure what Nalra is going to be able to do. Nalra though has also, because Oversky is concentrated primarily on defense, Nalra has been able to expand as well and catch up in terms of economy. This is turning out to be a rocking game, guys. A very finely balanced matchup at this point in time. Nalra has got about 4 expansions of his own as well. He's got observers all over the map to try and scout those forces off Oversky. Oversky concentrating primarily on defense. Nalra has kept him on the back foot in that regard. Oversky with the group of Zerglings now attacking that expansion that Nalra is setting up in the middle left of the map, and he's going to be able to take that down with a small harassing group of Zerglings. So that's very clever play by him. That's going to slow Nalra's expansive economy down a little bit. Nalra now going in for the drop at that base. Oversky has no units to defend, and Nalra getting the drop off. He's only got a single spore colony. Oversky sending units in, but Nalra's managed to load another shuttle up. So even though Oversky is going to kill off most of his force, he's lost a lot of units there. Great storm by Nalra. Nalra storming those Ultralisks taking heavy damage, and he's got enough units, I believe, surviving inside Oversky's base. I don't think Oversky has got drop tech. Oversky needs to lift some of those Ultralisks into that base, and now Oversky in trouble. Oversky has sent reinforcements in with Zerglings. I believe they came from that base at the 6 o'clock position. So Oversky managing to defend. He didn't lose too much. He lost a couple of defensive buildings. He didn't lose too much, and Nalra's attack peters out again. And Nalra, it would seem now on the back foot, because he lost most of his units in that attack on Oversky's base. His forces unfortunately divided, half of them in the shuttles trying to get dropped. He also lost a couple of shuttles. Excuse me. While his main force got taken out. Now Oversky pushing to that middle left expansion that Nalra was trying to set up, and Nalra is now, however, Nalra wouldn't be too worried in terms of economy right now. Oversky going for that expansion now closer to Nalra's main. That expansion at the top in the middle left of the map, and Oversky with a lot of Ultralisks as well as Lurkers now taking root in that base. A lot of those most of the photon cannons are down. Only one survived. Nalra's Jones probes seem to be trapped there, and Oversky dealing deadly damage to that base, and those probes run away. As soon as Oversky lifted the Lurker, Nalra managed to move the probes out, so he managed to save some of his probes, but that expansion is going down, so Nalra is now going to be down to 3 bases, his main, his natural, and that expansion at the middle of the map, at the kind of 12 o'clock position near the middle of the map. So that expansion gets taken down by Oversky. Nalra now with the drop of his own, and Nalra with a drop, storm goes off on the drones, and unfortunately he doesn't manage to kill too many of the drones. He only took about 4 or 5 drones out here. That's not going to hurt Oversky too much, and this is bad for Nalra. He's had a large group of High Templar there, and they don't seem to have energy. I think they're just probably rallied there, and they're just going to get intercepted and get taken out without a single storm going off, and that's horrible for Nalra. Horrible. He loses about 4 High Templar without energy. He loses about 5 High Templar, and that's really going to cost him big time. You really have to feel that Oversky is going to have a massive advantage in this game now after those last few exchanges. The first one at the 5 o'clock base where Nalra got caught in the middle of his attack. Brilliant anticipation and defense for Oversky. Nalra once again going with another shuttle. I'm not sure what he's trying to do. One of the Scourges hits the shuttle. The second Scourge is coming. Nalra's going to have to drop whatever units he has. That shuttle's not going to survive. The Scourge stops, and the shuttle manages to escape. Nalra manages to escape with that shuttle intact, and the Scourge just about gets taken out. But Nalra's attack once again thwarted by Oversky. I have to say Oversky's defense has been brilliant in this game. I'm not sure whether it's Nalra who is being rusty, or whether Oversky is showing his skill and showing that he does belong at the top tier and is able to play a late game and is not just a one-trick pony. And once again, Nalra with a decisive drop in Oversky's main, but Oversky defends successfully without losing too many units. He had a High Templar and a Zealot there, a couple of Zealots, they get taken out, and Oversky's economy virtually intact. Nalra hasn't done too much damage to it. Oversky continued to build up a large force of Ultras, and you have to say that Oversky's attacks have been more conclusive, have been more effective against Nalra. Nalra now with another drop, taking a lot of drones it seems. That time he managed to kill off a few drones. I'm not sure how many. We didn't see the crux of that drop. Oversky once again taking on Nalra's forces now, and Oversky forced back Nalra with Zealots to tank and a few Archons forcing Oversky back. Oversky needed to have a few Zerglings to really support those Ultras. He didn't have them there. Oversky preventing Nalra from re-establishing that expansion. Oversky really taking map control here. Nalra finding it difficult to establish more expansions. He is trying to set up another one there where he has established a force. He's going to try and force the pace a little bit. He's okay for now in terms of economy, but he needs to do something, otherwise he's going to fall too far behind. Oversky really building at will, and Oversky looks like he's got another expansion building up in the middle left of the map towards the bottom half of the map, and Nalra once again going for Oversky's main. Oversky doesn't have a lot of Lurkers this time to defend, and Nalra this time with Reavers. He's got 4 Reavers on those shuttles. I didn't see them at all. Oh my god, I've been taken completely by surprise by that. And Nalra really with a crack force going into Oversky's base. He's got Reavers, he's got Zealots, and he's got Fearless Archons, and Nala wreaking havoc in Oversky's main. That main is going to get taken down. Oversky wisely moving his units back, allowing Nala to push forward.